In this video we're making a really simple square knot sliding knot bracelet. It's got the little sliding square knot in the centre there, and you can pull on either cord to adjust your bracelet. Today we're using 2mm black satin nylon cord, and for this design we need one 45cm length and one 30cm length. Now we start by just tying a little knot on each end of the longer cord there, pulling it nice and tight. This longer length is going to be our bracelet. So we lay the longer length out, how it's going to sit like a bracelet with those ends overlapping. And I find it's easier just to turn it on its side, so we've got these overlapping parts on the right hand side, and this is where we're going to tie our square knot. Now we can grab the shorter 30cm length, and we start by just popping it underneath those overlapped threads there. Then we bring this left side thread around in a loop and over the top of those overlapped cords on the bracelet. You want to keep that little loop on the left hand side, and then with the right side cord at the top here, we just bring that down over the top of that other thread, and then we gently are going to bring the end underneath the bracelet and then bring it up that little loop on the left hand side. Then we can pull both tails nice and tight, and you should have your first stitch on your square knot. When we make a square knot, we alternate each stitch. So we started with the left hand side first. Now we're going to use this right hand cord, gently bringing it around to form a loop on that right hand side, and then with the left side cord we can bring it down over the top of that cord and then gently bring it underneath the whole bracelet to bring it up that loop on the right hand side. Pulling those threads nice and tight. Then this next stitch will be back onto the left, so just bringing that thread around over top of your bracelet, and then the right cord goes down over and then underneath the whole bracelet to come up that loop on the left hand side. Pulling your threads nice and tight, and then the next stitch we're back to the right hand side, bringing that thread around and over, and then the left hand side thread down over and then underneath the bracelet and out that loop on the other side. It's up to you how many stitches you do for your square sliding knot. As long as you alternate those stitches, you'll have a nice flat square knot. I've done 4 stitches on mine, but it depends what sort of thread you're using and how long your length is. Just keep alternating those stitches and pulling it nice and tight in between each one. Once you're happy with the length of your square knot there, we're going to cut these little tails off. Just making sure you're cutting the right tails off, the ones that don't have the little knots on the end, and I'm going to cut them off nice and short and then singe them onto the knot. This is satin nylon cord, so it does melt really well. I like to give it a decent little heat there and actually melt it sort of together and push it onto the knot. Just be careful not to melt the knot onto the sliding part of the bracelet. You're just melting that knot together and fusing it onto itself so that it's nice and secure and won't come undone. Now you can check your little sliding knot mechanism. You should have a fully functional sliding bracelet now. So you can check that and adjust it by pulling the little tails with the knots on the end and sliding that square knot along to adjust the bracelet. So there's your simple design for a sliding knot bracelet with a square knot slider.